Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and once again, we're going to play Star Trek Judgment Rites. We are on Mission 5, although the way this game works, it's pretty old. The saves don't let you save until you actually get past the intro for that level, so if you want to see Mission 5's intro, go check out the end of my previous video, but we're going to jump right into Mission 5. We are going to also skip the opening sequence because copyright issues. Yeah, a MIDI Star Trek tune, that alone would probably do it.
Saved game.
Alright, load. Mission 5.
The Antares Rift. It should be a most interesting assignment.
How so, Spock?
There have been several attempts to chart it. All expeditions into the Rift vanished without a trace.
But those expeditions were years ago. Our starships are far more capable than they were during the time of those attempts.
Captain, a 10-year-old child is far more capable than a 3-year-old child. But there are many problems that neither child can solve.
Hailing frequencies are open, Captain.
Captain's log, stardate 6257.6. We have entered the Antares Rift and found spatial disruptions in the rift that make using warp engines extremely dangerous. Repairs are almost complete on the minor damage we suffered upon entry into the rift. We are continuing our survey using impulse engines.
My poor babies. Warp engines were meant to be used, Captain.
Communications are back online, Captain.
Deflectors at 93% power and increasing.
Captain, undoubtedly that phenomenon would explain many of the strange disappearances in this sector. Still, with our warp engines deactivated, our computers indicate we will be safe.
Communications are out again, Captain. Is anyone hurt?
If he was human, Mr. Spock's pride might be...
Captain, sensors failed to indicate anything unusual prior to the explosion. I would speculate that it was caused by an extremely unusual rift in the space-time continuum, a place where radically different physical laws apply.
And since it was different space-time, our sensors weren't programmed to detect it.
And it could happen again at any time without warning.
Scotty, what's our status?
Very bad, Captain. Whatever hit the Enterprise hit us right in our own neighborhood. The hull is breached 6 meters from the bridge. Beyond that, the instruments are useless. I can't read or send anything through these controls. We'll need a starbase to make this bridge functional again.
Scotty, how about auxiliary control?
Captain, I cannot determine the status of anything beyond the place where the rupture occurred. The rest of the ship could be dead as far as we know.
Ideas, Mr. Walker?
I'm a security guard, sir, not an idea man. Still, if we could send out probes to detect these rifts, we might get a better idea on whether they're moving or not, and whether we should stop and make repairs, or keep moving.
Status, Mr. Sulu.
Helmet's not responding, Captain. The controls are completely dead.
Status, Mr. Chekhov.
Captain, navigation is not responding. The circuits are as lifeless as a Stalinist.
That's funny, okay.
Any ideas, Lieutenant?
I was barely able to reroute the necessary connections last time, Captain. Communications are completely useless now. We may be able to enter codes into the library computer and instruct others to send messages to us.
Captain, I believe I may be able to adjust the sensors to detect these spatial rifts and pilot the Enterprise to avoid them. However, the sensors are too heavily damaged here. I will need to get to auxiliary control as soon as possible if I am to reroute the necessary systems.
Mr. Spock, the bulkheads were breached just outside of the bridge. No one's going to be able to leave the bridge for at least an hour unless they're transported out.
Captain's log, supplemental. Things are a complete mess on the bridge, with little immediate hope for improvement. It's stuck. We're not getting out of here that way.
Captain, the library computer is online. Apparently, its circuits were shielded from the explosion. Captain, I have managed to program a message into the library computer. The first time a person accesses the computer, they will read our distress signal. Hopefully, they can code a reply into the computer, which we can access. Captain, the transporters are operational. I request permission to be transported, so I can begin the adjustments to sensors as soon as possible.
Go ahead, Spock. No, Spock, I'll go first. Go ahead, Spock. Spock!
I can take care of that, Captain. I'm patching your log into the computer. You should have voice messages.
Captain, we've managed to jury-rig an evacuation tube through the bridge turbo lift. We should be able to keep it stable long enough for you to be evacuated.
Captain's log. After equipping ourselves with tricorders and phasers, we are now searching for a way to find Spock and return him to us. I've determined that the best place to start
Captain, it's a very good thing we took the warp engines offline.
How bad is it, Scotty?
That explosion was 42% stronger than the one that struck near the bridge. Our left warp nacelle is crippled, Captain.
I hope it's not a trend. Keep me posted, Mr. Scott. Kirk out. Our highest priority is control of the sensors. We must find Spock.
I'll handle it, Captain. Remember, I was a physicist when I first joined the Enterprise.
Ah! Captain, look! Captain, what happened?
It appears our alien friend likes its privacy.
The Cossacks have locked the door, Captain.
Captain, there's some sort of barrier on the walls and the doors. Our tricorder scans can't get past it. Captain, I'm getting a sensor reading on the alien. I'm sure Dr. McCoy will find this data very interesting.
Well, Jim, I leave you alone for 5 minutes and look at the mess you've made. Jim, what is going on out there?
Spock is gone, Bones. He was transporting off the bridge, and then he vanished, and then this alien appeared in auxiliary control.
An alien kidnapped Spock? Why?
I don't know. We managed to get a medical scan.
Jim, this says our invaders are Vorians.
Vurians, but they're extinct. They died out at the time that Cochrane invented the warp drive. They were slaughtered in the Three Systems War.
Jim, I know my history, but I also know my anatomy. The alien in auxiliary control is a Vorian. There's only one strange thing.
What's that?
This creature isn't capable of doing some of the things that you described. It's an ordinary Vorian. No special organs, no unusual brain patterns, nothing that traditionally suggests superhuman feats.
Can you neutralize it, Bones?
Actually, it's a female. And yes, I know of something that can incapacitate it without harming it. A gas mixture. You'll have to pump large quantities into auxiliary control for it to be effective, but it should work almost immediately. Here's the gas, Jim. Be careful with it. There hasn't been a Vorian in 150 years.
Captain, there has been an explosion near the shuttle bay. I'm fine. There has been no significant damage.
Any luck communicating with Starfleet Command?
I have made contact with the light cruiser USS Jefferson, sir. It will reach the edge of Antares Rift in 16 hours. The rift is playing havoc with communications.
Thank you, Lieutenant Kirkhound.
Captain, I got bad news for you. This rift is affecting the hull of the ship. Our hull integrity is dropping fast.
How bad is it, Scotty?
It's at 92% and dropping rapidly. According to our system specs, if it drops below 63%...
Put as much powers as you can to the shields. Use them to support our hull integrity. Divert as much power as you can to the sensors. Let's find out what's causing this. Evacuate all people from the outer decks. Divert power from life support on those decks evenly to shields and sensors.
Captain, that'll only add about 2% to the shields and sensors.
Do it, Mr. Scott.
Aye, Captain.
Artificial gravity control. This system keeps the Enterprise with both feet firmly on the ground. Deflector control grid. This system prevents the Enterprise from being pulverized at near light speed by micrometeorites. Life support control systems. This monitors and controls the ship's life support. Impulse engine fuel control systems. This system monitors fuel usage in the impulse engines. This device stores special chemicals that are pumped into the ship's atmosphere when needed and is operated by the life support system.
I wish Dr. McCoy had given me the specs on that gas injection system. It looks like a rather clumsy fit.
I'll do it, Scotty.
You'd think that Dr. McCoy would have some respect for engineering.
Let's see how our alien friend likes Dr. McCoy's medicine.
Probably as much as we do, Hikaru.
Mr. Kyle, can you transport me to auxiliary control?
Aye, sir. But I have to remind you how dangerous intership transporting can be. We've really been pushing our luck today.
I'm aware of that, Mr. Kyle, but we have to take the risk.
Look, something's happening.
Captain, everything looks fine. Our course and speed are unchanged. Our weapons are online should we need them.
That's odd. Captain, why would an alien take minimal control of the Enterprise and leave its weapons intact? If only we had a target to fire upon.
These readings look normal to me. This looks like a normal course, right, Pavel?
Normal. It's an excellent course. The same one I entered before the alien came on board the ship.
Captain, the aliens have not touched the helm. All systems look like they'll respond normally. Everything seems to be working. Library computer, external sensors.
Mr. Sulu, see if you can find where the Vurian went. Maybe that will lead us to Spock.
Captain, I'm detecting the Vurian. She seems to have vanished through a rift in space. I have the coordinates of her last known location. Everything seems to be working. Captain, we have the These readings look normal to me.
Normal. It's an act. Everything seems to be working.
Captain, we have the coordinates to find the Vurian. Why are we wasting time here?
Mr. Kyle, you have the coordinates where the alien teleported?
Captain, you're asking me to transport you into another dimension. I may not be able to lock onto you there.
I'm aware of the risk, Mr. Kyle. You have your orders.
Aye, sir.
Energize. Captain's personal log. I have transported to many strange places in my day, but beaming into an alien dimension is something entirely unique. Only the extreme risk to my ship and my friend Spock would cause me to take such a drastic risk.
This doesn't look like a nice place to visit.
There's the Vurian. I don't see Spock.
He's got to be around here somewhere.
Save new game.
Captain, this stone has a cell structure. It must be organic. It also has a wave signature indicative of some sort of psionic abilities. Now this is strange. According to the tricorder, everything around us is organic.
But it feels like minerals to me.
Tricorders don't lie, Pablo.
It could be a deception, Captain.
Captain, I am detecting a large quantity of these blue stones underneath the surface in this spot.
No effect, Captain. I don't have enough knowledge of Vurian anatomy.
Greetings, Lord Kirk. I am Eminata. I regret the discomfort that I put you through on your ship. I wish only to preserve my joy by serving the Savant.
Are you willing to help me, Eminata? Where is Spock? How did you come to be here? What were you doing on my ship? Are you willing to help me, Eminata?
Possibly. I am aware of your ship's distress. I can bring it to the attention of the Savant. It may help.
Actually, I was thinking more about freeing Spock. What is the Savant? I would appreciate the Savant being informed.
It is done. The Savant awaits. The Savant awaits. I am unimportant compared to him. Go to him at once.
I will. You are the last of your race. That makes you very important. Can you talk about the Savant? Give us a chance to know what to expect.
Nothing I can say will truly prepare you for what awaits.
Are you willing to help me? Where is Spock? How did you come to be here? What were you doing on my ship?
The Savant empowered me to remove any psionically adept being from your ship, and to prevent you from following him. It was not our intention to do you harm.
I am the Savant. I wish you and all entities nothing but joy.
Who are you? Why do you ensnare others against their will? Release Spock at once and allow us to return to our ship. Who are you?
Once, eons ago, I was akin to you, a creature of flesh and pain. But I released myself from these bonds and became an entity of pure emotion. And I came to this place to find a shelter from the cares of the universe.
Captain, the readings are incomprehensible. The tricorder has no idea what all these waveforms represent.
A pouch from the Vurian life support capsule.
Spock, what have they done to you?
Fascinating. Emotional intensity of a previously unknown level. Our link with the savant acts as an amplifier. The more minds in union with him, the greater the level of emotion. And happiness is a powerful emotion.
Spock, do you want this?
Happiness is a human desire, Captain. I am a Vulcan. I want to be free of emotions. This is the antithesis of my desires.
Spock!
I shall try to tell you what I know. The emotions make it difficult to communicate. The creature that has done this is called the Savant. A being of great power that has transformed itself into a creature of living emotion. It can form a link with any creature with psionic abilities, including Vulcans. It taps into latent emotions and amplifies them, using them to increase its emotional stability.
What happens if it gets cut off from you and the Vurian?
It would be alone, but could cope. We enhance its enjoyment, but we are not essential to its survival. We're like a backup system. It relies on us for emotional support, but it could exist without us. I understand, Mr. Chekhov. It is quite logical.
Mr. Spock, the best science officer in Starfleet.
Captain, you misunderstand me. It is not my will to bring harm to any creature. I have taken two creatures that are without the most important thing in existence, joy, and given it to them in infinite variety and abundance. The Vurian was filled with despair at the death of her race. She was overwhelmed by sorrow and grief. I have healed her of these afflictions forever. As for the Vulcan, he has been conditioned to deny his emotions. I am bringing him in contact with a part of himself that will enhance his life. It is a gift of love.
You have no right to inflict emotions on any being, regardless of how positive you may think them to be, without their consent. Get a life. You can't just sit around feeling happy for eternity. Love? Spock doesn't want your gift. He doesn't need your gift. Release him. You have no right to inflict emotions on any being, regardless of how positive you may think them to be, without their consent.
I give them an eternity of joy. Is that not every creature's desire? How can granting a subliminal desire be beyond my rights?
That is the most arrogant piece of presumption I have ever heard. An eternity of joy. And I suppose you derive no benefits from the people you hold prisoner? Do you honestly believe that because what you do may benefit them, that the ends justify the means? That is the most arrogant an eternity of joy. And I suppose you derive no benefits from the people you hold prisoner? Do you honestly believe that because what you do may benefit?
Yes, Captain. For such a great good as that which I provide, the ends do justify the means. I will send you back to your own ship and give you safe passage through the Antares Rift if you wish.
Captain, this stone has a cell structure. It must be organic. It also has a wave signature indicative of some sort of psionic abilities. Captain, this stone has a cell structure. It must be organic. It also has a wave signature indicative of some sort of psionic abilities. Now this is strange. According to the tricorder, everything around us is organic.
But it feels like minerals to me.
Tricorders don't lie, Pablo.
It could be a deception, Captain.
The stones are organic, Captain. My tricorder detects intense psionic energy from them.
I'll get them, Captain. I've put them in the pouch we found. Boy, am I getting an odd feeling from these stones.
You disturb my rest. Fortunately, I am not alone in bliss. Do not use such a tactic again on me. I warn you. What is this? What am I feeling? What have you done?
What's the matter, Savant? Not feeling those good vibrations? Life isn't all happiness and joy. It's time you experienced a reality check. Is that sadness you're feeling, Savant? It couldn't be that those inferior humans have... What's the matter, Savant? Not feeling those good vibrations?
Please, have mercy. I would rather die than experience such sorrow.
If you will listen to reason, I will release you. Free Spock and return us to our ship. You really are a crybaby. Go ahead and bawl your head off. If you will listen to reason, I will release you.
I do not wish to reward violence, Captain.
Taking Spock against his will is an act of violence too, Savant. No entity, no matter how wise, can impose eternity on another creature. Even the most authoritarian gods of myth never strip their subjects of their free will.
I remain unconvinced, Captain. But I am too aggrieved to argue. You and your scientist will be returned to your craft. Live long and prosper, James Kirk. Live well in your universe. And I shall try to live well in mine.
Captain's log, we are out of the Antares Rift and are on our way to Starbase 8, where the Enterprise has extensive repairs scheduled. All crew members, including First Officer Spock, are safely aboard.
So, Spock, you mean you had an eternity of pure enjoyment and you gave it up?
Affirmative, Doctor.
That has to be the most illogical thing I've ever heard. Humans spend their entire lifetime dreaming of an eternity of pleasure.
As do animals in the field. Perhaps humans are meant to be better than that. Perhaps we should dream of greatness, not simple gratification.
Greatness is a term subject to individual interpretation, Captain. The savant viewed the pursuit of greatness as useless because all great deeds and accomplishments are destined to be forgotten in cosmic terms.
A cosmic being thinks in cosmic terms, Spock. But somehow that philosophy overlooks a lot of life's little pleasures. There's just one thing that bothers me about the whole thing.
Really, Doctor?
Spock finally got to enjoy himself, and I wasn't there to see it. Now that's something worth remembering.
Message from Starfleet Command.
On screen.
I have reviewed your report from your recent assignment, Captain, and have a few comments. The top brass at Starfleet are impressed with the results of your recent performance. Outstanding work, Jim. Keep up the good work. Kane out.
How long until we reach Nova Atar, Ensign?
About 23 hours, Captain.
22 hours, 53 minutes, and 17 seconds to be precise.
Spock, there's no need to be precise. We're going on shore leave. Rest, relaxation, no calls from Starfleet.
Captain, we have a message coming in from Admiral Richards at Starfleet.
On screen, Lieutenant.
Hello, Jim. I know you're going on shore leave, but...
What is it, Chris?
Since you're going there anyway, and it's only a small favor...
Favor?
I don't want to inconvenience you, but...
Fine, you have it. What would you like me to do?
We recently discovered that one of the exhibits in the Smithsonian Annex at Nova Atar is of great historical significance to the Serenzi, an influential family from planet Lakian. The museum is going to have a small ceremony to return the item. The Federation planned to send a representative, but, well, she couldn't make it. Since you'll be in the neighborhood, well, no dress uniforms. All you have to do is smile and shake hands.
Smile, shake hands. It would be my pleasure, Admiral. My chief engineer had already promised to show me around. We'll be there.
Thanks, Jim. I owe you one. Check your data files for details. Oh, one more thing, Jim. Due to the security concerns, you won't be allowed to bring any electronic equipment with you. Richards out.
Now, I was saying...
Captain, do we really have to stand around and listen to speeches from a bunch of politicians?
It won't be all bad, Scotty. The curator's a major cognac producer, and he asked us to show up early to thank us for our support.
Captain, it'd be rude to keep a man like the curator waiting, what with an important diplomatic function to prepare for.
Alright folks, I need a break, but maybe we'll stream this again tomorrow. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube, that way you can stay up to date with any new content I'm going to publish. This is Vince, thanks for watching, and I will catch you all next time. Take care.